lights on. A little bit dark in here today. How are you all? Okay? Let's link up with you. Wrong thing, that one. So we've got your Pilates. All mixed ability. Good morning, Marie. Hope you're well. So hopefully, yes, with the mixed ability, you'll be able to find a level that you can work at. If you're new, if you want that beginner level, if you've got injuries, anything like that, you're doing this as a form of recovery. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of when you go to rehab, whatever. Anyway, if you're using it for that, then obviously use the lower levels, okay? Physio, that's the word I'm thinking of, physio. It about sums up my brain today. Okay, so we'll get you warmed up, we'll get you in a good standing position, and then we'll work our way down to the floor. And then once we're on the floor, we stay on the floor, we complete our exercises, and then we'll gradually make our way to stand again. Please do feel free to rest at any time. Sometimes you can get so that your body shakes a little bit, and that's your body telling you it's muscle fatigue. Have a little rest, join back in when you can. Have a drink at any time, okay? You'll see I stop and drink because I always get a dry mouth because I talk so much. But anyway, if you need a drink, take one. So let me set the watch and let me make a start. It's a bit chilly in my lounge this morning, so I'm a bit cold before I start today. There we go. Okay, so morning, Nikki. Standing nice and upright, nice and tall, facing forwards. Shoulders down, relaxed. We're lengthening our back, we're lifting our chin off the chest, and we're engaging the core, and we're finding neutral spines. We're finding the position where the back feels comfortable, that natural lordotic curve. We're pulling up the pelvic floor, that muscle you'd use to stop mid-flow. We're holding it at a level, around about a 30% engagement, and the same thing around the middle. Imagine you've got that belt around the centre of the body, pull it in nice and tough. Just got to blow my nose, I'm sorry, I'm full of phlegm this morning. So you've got your back position. That's better, sorry. I think I've got a cold coming on. Relax the shoulders, so you've got your core engaged and you've got your neutral spine. Your breathing should then come from your rib cage. Hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. Take a deep breath in, opening the rib cage and release. Take a deep breath in and release. Relax those arms down. Lovely. Morning, Anna. Gently begin to pedal through your feet one side to the other, raising up an alternating heel. Allow your shoulders to gently rotate one way and the other. Lovely. Place the feet down, lift up onto those toes, lengthen the body and release. Again, lift up, lengthen and release. One more time, lift and lengthen right through and release. Taking a nice big lunge forward with your left leg. Dropping the back knee, bringing the arms up, rotate to the left, come to the center, step back and change. So you're turning towards the side of the leg that's in front, okay? We're dropping the back knee. So we've got that nice long stretch up the quads. We're rotating through the back and through the waist, spinal rotation. We're keeping the back lengthened, last one here, so we're not leaning over. Then we're holding it in the middle, and then reach up and over. Coming into the center, and change sides. Reach up and over. Good. I have just got to, sorry, I am organised this morning, but I've also got other stuff going on as well. Good, step and reach. Lovely, you're going to take one more to each side. Last one here, into the centre and release. So standing upright, allow your hips to rotate one way and the other. Lovely, holding it in the middle. Take one foot forward, point the toe, circle round, lift the knee up, balance. Toe comes forward, circle round, lift the knee and balance. And again, toe forward, circle around. We're going to hold it here this time. I want you to open and close. Open. Now you can always keep your toe down for this. If your balance is a little bit off, then you can always keep your toe down. Hold it in the middle, ankle one way and the other, and place the foot down. Other leg comes forwards, point the toe, circle the leg round, lift the knee and balance. Toe forward, circle round, lift and balance. Again, toe forward, circle round, lift and balance. One last one here, you'll hold it up this time. You're going to open and close through the hip. Open and close. Keep the toe down if you prefer, so it's just a little hip twitch, okay? One more, and then hold it in the middle, ankle one way, and then the other, and then place that foot down. So we're standing towards the back of the mat, or if you're just coming to the floor, just make sure you've got space to roll down. Breathe in, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down through your back. Soften your knees, allow the arms to hang and relax like wet spaghetti. Then when you're ready, breathe in. As you breathe out, begin to roll back up. Rebuild the spine vertebrae by vertebrae all the way to the top. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, begin to roll down. Soften your knees. Allow the arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, begin the process rolling back up, rebuilding that back all the way to the top. Relax the shoulders down. So we're going to roll down this time and come down to the floor. So breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down. At your lowest point, please walk your hands forward and lower your knees to the floor. In your box position, breathe in. As you breathe out, push one leg all the way back. Breathe in, bring it back in. Other leg. So we're going to begin by keeping the foot down. We're just pushing that leg out behind us in our swimming, okay? Back is lengthened and the body is central. Breathe out, lengthen, and then raise. Then breathe in lower and draw it back in. So in a moment, we're going to be focusing on one side only, okay? So we're going to do one more with each leg. Only lifting to bottom height. Good. So this time, guys, I'd like you to breathe out, lengthen and raise, and stay here. So you've got that leg raised. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to allow that leg to come out to the side and then come back in. Same leg. Breathe out, comes out. Breathe in, comes in. Now what you mustn't do is tilt. So as that leg comes out, I don't want the body collapsing to one side. Now what you could do is take the opposite hand out along the floor in front of you. You could bring that opposite arm up. And then your last option is to move the arm out at the same time as the leg. Breathe out to open, breathe in to return. Make sure your neck is in line with your spine. Don't hang your head, don't drop it down. So with this leg, I'm going to ask you please for 2 more. Then you can allow fingers and toes to touch down. Draw it back in. Take a breath. Then when you're ready, breathe in, breathe out. Other leg pushes out and comes up. Start with just the leg. Don't assume because you can do it on one side, you can do it on the other. Because it doesn't always work like that. Breathe in, breathe out, leg comes out. Breathe in, leg comes in. Breathe out, leg goes out. Breathe in, leg comes in. If you're happy with your balance and technique, slide the other hand out along the floor. If you want to, next level is to raise that arm, keeping it in line with the body. And your last option is to move the arm. Breathe out to open, in to return. I don't know about anyone else, but my hip says, ooh, that's That's working. Breathe out to open. Breathe in to return. Point the toes away. Control the movement. Keep going for me. So this is a form of swimming. It's a slightly higher level because we're allowing the leg to come away from the body. Our core then has to work harder to keep us central. When we're lifting and lowering, that's fine. That's all one direction and we stay central. But as soon as the leg comes out to the side, then you have to worry. And I'm going to ask you then to allow the fingers and toes to lower and draw back in. From this position, push down onto those arms and elbows, lower down the pelvis, pull up the belly button. Looking down towards the floor, tightening through the core. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lower the hip one side. Breathe in, come to the middle. And then breathe out, lower the hip to the other side. Breathe in, come to the middle. So we're allowing the hip to gently drop down. Good. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to release. If you want to work harder, we're lifting the knees up from the floor, but we're making sure that everything else stays central. We're not looking down our body to see what's happening with our hips. We're just allowing them to gently lower down. Engage the core. Strengthening through the center of the body. Hip drop, so you're working the waist, core, lumbar spine. And I'm going to ask you for 2 more, 1 to each side, please. Once you've completed those 2, you're going to gently allow yourself to lower. Once you are down, forehead is coming down. Hands are coming into the small of the back. Legs come together and point your toes, okay? Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs, keeping them as straight as you can, toes pulled away. Now your pelvis will have pushed down a bit, but I want you to draw your belly button up so your core is still engaged. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3, heels to the bum. Breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in and lengthen. So those core muscles are zipped up, pulled in. Breathe out, heels to the bum. Breathe in, release. You could do one leg at a time if you need to. Good. Try not to jerk the movement. You've got to keep it nice and strong, but without allowing the whole of the body to move around. Does that make sense? Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, lengthen. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 1 more. Then you can lower the legs. You can release the arms. We'll come back to leg pull. Knees down, position 1. Knees up, position 2. If you want position 3 or your level 3, then you're coming up onto the hands. Probably not a good idea to put hand cream on, as you know you're going to be coming onto your hands. Make sure you're not going to slip. So you're pulling up on all of those options. You're pulling up through your belly button. It's the same area that you're working. It just makes you work at a higher level. And if you're up on your hands, you've also got to worry that you're going to overload your shoulders. It's not about your upper body strength. It's about your core. Deep, full breaths. So I'm going to ask you, please, in your leg pull, strengthening through the core and the lumbar spine for up to 3 more breaths. Obviously, if you begin to shake or wobble, just rest down. When you've completed those, you're gently going to release, and we're going to turn on to one side, and we're going to lower and lengthen all the way out. Head rests down on the arm, fingers pulled away. Legs lengthened out and in line with your body. So you've got a straight line from the fingers all the way down to the toes. And then this hand here goes in front for your balance, okay? Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs without rolling forwards or backwards. So we're going to move each leg separately, okay? So breathe in. As you breathe out, top leg is going to come up. As you breathe in, it lowers, and then your bottom leg kicks forward and comes back in. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to kick. Breathe in to return. Hand is there for balance. You may feel you can take that hand away. Now, as the leg moves, you've got to focus on keeping it as straight as you can with those toes pulled away from the body. So the body stays in that lengthened position all the time. Breathing out as the leg moves away from you and in as the leg comes back towards you. If your balance is still really good, you can always choose to take that arm over. Well done. Try and keep those legs as straight as possible. It's your range of movement. There's no set height or distance to how far that leg can move. It is literally to where you can go without compromising your posture. I'm going to ask you for one more of each movement, please. Once you've completed those two, you can allow those legs to lower all the way back down. Hand is there for balance. Bend your bottom leg, top leg straight, point the toe forward. So we're going to hit this hip area, okay? Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift that leg. Now the leg itself is in line with the body, but the toes are pointing forwards. That is important because the area we want, we're going to hit it a better target if we have the correct foot position. If you lengthen it, you've lengthened that muscle out. I want it slightly shorter so we can get right into the hip. Breathe in. As you breathe out, circle the leg. Aim for 5 circles and then breathe in and hold. And then breathe out and go back the other way. So you're going to breathe in and hold and then breathe out and circle. We're aiming for 5 rotations with each breath out. Breathe out, breathe in. Good. Hand is there for balance. You could take it away if you don't need it. Don't allow the whole body to move. So I'm going to ask you for one more in each direction and then keep it lifted and still. And we're going to make this movement slower. So I'm going to ask you to breathe in. As you breathe out, I want you to start rotating forwards and around. And then as you breathe in, complete the circle. And it's going to go the other way. Breathe out, begin to circle back, rotate round, and then as you breathe in, you complete the circle. And again, forwards. Remember, toes point forwards. Range of movement only as far as comfortable for you without rolling those hips. We're going to do one more in each direction. Use your whole breath out to lift and circle. Whole breath in to finish that rotation. Well done. And once you've completed those, you can lower and give that hip a little rub if you need to. And then when you're ready, please push yourself to sit. So we're sitting upright. We've got our legs bent, shoulders down and relaxed. You're going to bring those hands back, okay? Now, if you've got a wrist problem or weak shoulders, all I want you to do is push back and hold, okay? Target area on this reverse leg pull is your tricep. So when you're ready, breathe in. As you breathe out, come up. Now, don't let your head hang. Keep the head and neck in line with the body. Pull your bottom up. So try not to have it down there. Try and pull it up towards the ceiling. If you want to go further without dropping the pelvis, you lengthen the legs out 45 degrees. Pull the belly button in and up. or stay here. Deep, full breaths from the rib cage. Don't let that bottom drop. Or stay here and just push back and hold. Backs of the arms, the triceps. You're more likely to feel the effect of this exercise when you've completed it. I'm going to ask you for 2 more breaths. Once you've completed the 2, you can gently allow yourself to lower, and by all means, just give those shoulders a little roll one way and the other. So staying in our seated position with our legs bent, breathe in, tuck the tailbone under, breathe out, lower down as far as you can go. Then I want you to breathe in, start to come up. As you breathe out, continue. I want you to bring one knee in. Breathe in, lower the foot, tilt the pelvis, breathe out, lower. Breathe in, start to come up. As you breathe out, continue up, bring the other knee in. If adding the knee is too much, go without it, alright? So breathe in and tilt, breathe out and lower, even if it's just to there. Breathe in, start to lift, breathe out, continue to lift, knee comes in. That knee comes up as we start to breathe out on that lift, yeah? Breathe in and tilt, foot goes down, tilt, pelvis goes under. Breathe out and lower. Breathe in, start to lift, knee comes in. Good. Strengthening through the core and the lumbar spine. And if you can get all the way down to the floor, that is great. But remember, however far you go down, you've got to get back up, okay? So with or without that leg, breathe in and tilt, breathe out and lower. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue the lift. Strengthening through the core and the lumbar spine. You've got mobility through that lower back as well. And I'm going to ask you, in this little adaptation of your roll up, for 1 more with each leg, please. Once you've completed those 2, both feet will be on the floor, and you're going to carefully allow yourself to roll down onto your back and take the legs out straight. I'm just going to have to go slightly at an angle, otherwise I'm going to kick my computer. Good. Legs are out, point the toes away. Breathe in. As you breathe out, one leg comes up, toes to the ceiling. Breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly allow that leg to lower. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out, continue to lower. Once that leg is down, the breathe in, leg comes up. Now it lifts up quickly, but the slower you can lower, the harder you're going to work, okay? So you're gently allowing that leg to come down. When it gets halfway down, I want you to breathe in and hold. That then puts the core under a bit more pressure. And then breathe out and continue all the way down. If you want the next level, bring your legs together, keep them stuck together like glue. They come up together and then they gently lower down together. Be careful that you don't allow your tummy muscles to dome upwards. That just means you're allowing them to round up. Also, when your legs get about 5-6 inches from the floor, they'll want to drop. You mustn't let them. You have to control that journey all the way down. Don't just give in on those last few inches. And then if you want to go all the way, quick look over my shoulder, make sure I've got enough space. Then your legs are going to come up and they're going to go over. So the toes come all the way to the floor, okay? Then you're going to add an extra breath if you're doing this, okay? That little breath out to slowly allow the back to come down. So it comes down slowly and then begin with those legs. So if you add the legs going all the way over, your level 3, then add an extra breath, okay? The slower you lower, the harder you work. Engage the core. Don't let that back lift up off the floor. Keep that comfortable spine all the way through. Deep, full breaths. In your jackknife, this is called, I'd like one more with each leg. If you're doing both legs together, then you can do 2 more. If you're doing your legs over, just do 1 more. Remember, slow and controlled. And once those legs are all the way down, bend the legs, place the feet down. When you come into this position with your legs bent, I want you just to make sure that your neutral spine, your comfortable back is still in place. You should be able to touch those fingertips together under the small of the back. So we're not allowing the back to push down, okay? Engage the core. So if I was to place a spirit level, cross your hips, bubble of air central and still. Shoulders down and relaxed. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift one leg up into a right angle position. Knee above the hip, ankle in line with the knee. The shin, the front of the lower leg, faces the ceiling. You can stay here, or we'll go further by lengthening diagonally out and leaving it there. All we've done is lengthen it, but that's put the core under more pressure. It's also put the lower back under more pressure. Keep with that neutral spine. Draw those core muscles in and out. They are working to stop that leg from dropping to the floor. Now if you want to go further, bring up the upper body, chin off the chest, take a breath in. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pushes down. Breathe in, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you could keep the leg bent and have the pulse if you want to. Your final option, your highest level, bring the other leg up into right angle and work from here. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and engaged. Carry on for me. I want to remind you, level 1, just that leg on its own. You could add the pulse for level 2. You could lengthen for level 2. Then add the pulse to the lengthen for level 3. And then the other leg up for level 4. So I'm going to ask you please for 2 more breaths. If you've got both legs lifted, you're going to take that bent leg down to the floor. You're going to allow the upper body to lower, and then you bring that leg back in. Keeping it bent at a right angle. Breathe in. As you breathe out, touch the foot down. As you breathe in, same leg comes back up. Scissor. Breathe out, lower. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. Breathe in, lift. You want to work harder, bring the other leg up, but let's keep it still. And I don't want you to adjust the angle of your knee. Your movement is coming from the top of your leg through the hip flexor, not from your knee. Breathe out, lower. Breathe in, raise. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in. Deep full breaths, breathing out to take it away, in to bring it back in. So I'm going to ask you in your scissor for 2 more breaths. Once you've completed your 2, you can allow that foot to come back down, and then when you're ready, breathe in, breathe out, bring the other leg up. Start position, right angle, knee above the hip, ankle in line with the knee, shin faces the ceiling. Shoulders down and relaxed, deep full breaths. Everything drawn up, drawn in, okay? If you want to go further, breathe in, breathe out, lengthen and hold. Knees parallel, toes pulled away. If you want to go further, upper body up. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We always work from base level upwards because, like I said earlier, don't assume that your body can always do the higher level. You might go to the higher level, then get your breathing in a muddle, or forget to engage the core, or not keeping the neutral spine. We do it by stages, then you're more likely to remember everything and have a good technique. final option here is to bring that other leg up. Remember, an option is to have the leg bent and pulse. So that is your choice. Up to you. Imagine there's a spirit level across the hips. Bubbler there, central and still. Deep, full breaths. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more breaths. If after those 2 breaths you've got both legs lifted, that bent leg comes down, upper body down, bring that leg back to right angle. Keeping it bent without adjusting the knee. Breathe in, breathe out, touch the foot down, breathe in, lift it back up. Breathe out, touch the foot down, breathe in, lift that leg back up. Engage the core, allow that leg to move smoothly with control. If you want to go and work higher level, then both legs are lifted, but we're just moving that one side. Breathing out to lower and into raise. Deep, full breaths from the rib cage. Remember, the levels are options. Stick with what you can work best with. Breathe out to lower, breathe in to lift. And I'm going to ask you please for 2 more repetitions. Once you've completed your 2, 1 foot at a time down if you've got them both lifted. And give yourself a nice long body stretch. Well done. When you are ready, bring yourself onto your side. So it's the other side, the one you haven't worked yet, okay? Lengthening the body out into a nice long line. I am slightly at an angle here. So if you're looking and think she's not straight, I am. My mat is angled. Head is resting down on the arm. Ideally look ahead, okay? So if you've got a device up high, look at it, get the general idea, and then return the head to neutral position so your neck is in line with the rest of the back. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs up without rolling forwards or backwards. Your first option, guys, is actually just to stay here and breathe. Hand there for support. We're going to add the movement. Breathe in. As you breathe out, top leg up, breathe in, lower. Bottom leg, breathe out, kick forwards, breathe in, return. So we're allowing one leg at a time to carefully move away from the body, breathing out as it moves away, and in as it comes in. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in, and engaged. Breathing out takes the leg away, breathing in brings that leg back in. Strengthening through the core and the lumbar spine. Nice long body from the fingers to the toes. Range of movement is up to you. Smaller movement is easier to control. If one of those movements is uncomfortable for any reason, stick to one that's okay. Working through the waist, the obliques. Working around the side leg and through the hip. Also a little bit of work from the inner thigh as well. So I'm going to ask you please for 1 more of each movement. Once you've completed those 2, legs together and gently lower. You're going to bend and tuck the bottom leg under. You're going to keep the top leg straight, but your toes point forwards. Top leg, breathe in. As you breathe out, raise it up. Toes forward. Remember, don't roll the whole body. Breathe in. As you breathe out, begin those small circles. Then breathe in and hold. And breathe out and go the other way. So there are small circles, but there is as many as possible from one single exhale. You breathe in, you breathe out and circle. You breathe in, you breathe out and circle. Toes forwards, core in place, mobility and strength through the hip, the core, the lumbar spine, and the obliques. Good. As many circles as possible from one breath out. So complete one more in each direction, and then hold that leg lifted and still. Take a nice deep breath in, slowly breathe out, begin to circle forward, round. As you reach the top, you begin to breathe in as you lower and complete that circle. Other way, breathe out, begin to circle back and round. Breathe in, allow that leg to come back down and in. Remember, you are drawing a circle. Don't go for a square. Control that movement from the hip. We're not allowing the rest of the body to roll. One more in each direction. Slow but strong. Good. Last one here. And then you can allow that leg to lower and give that hip a bit of a rub if it needs one. Well done. So from there, I'm going to ask you to come round onto a fox all fours position. Back is nice and neutral, nice and flat. Core muscles are zipped up, pulled in and in place. You're going to breathe in, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. And then breathe out and release. Breathe in, round the spine, chin to the chest. Breathe out and release. One more time in that cat stretch, round the back. And release. Sit back on your heels, stretch out the arms. We did that reverse leg pull. We did some work around the shoulders, so we're just stretching that out. And then from here, you're bringing your hands back towards the knees. Now we are going to make our way to stand. What I don't want you to do is rush and feel unwell, okay? So we're going to do it nice and gradually. Curl the toes under, push yourself back into crouch position. If you need to hold on to something, that is absolutely fine. Tuck your chin in, place the feet down, and then in your own time begin to roll up through the back. Rebuild the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. As you reach the top, head and neck raise last. That's my impression of cousin it. And relax the shoulders down. So we need to make sure we're neutral, our core muscles are engaged as much of the day as you can remember, please, okay? Make sure you're balanced. I don't want you slouched or leaning. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the body. Stand tall, yes? Lift up onto the toes. Are you balanced? And release. Again, lift up onto the toes. Balance. And release. One last time. Lift up, balance, hold. And just see if you can take it further by closing those eyes. And release. Well done. So that is your Pilates for this morning. Thank you very much for joining me. Are you alright, Nikki? How's Dash? Right, quick update. We went to the vet yesterday and the vet has said he's got deterioration in all four of his legs. So we now just have to play for time and see how he goes. He can stand and he is walking a little bit, but he's walking like he's in high heels. So every now and then his leg will just go a little bit funny. So while he's still able to move around and seems comfortable, we've still got our pet, we've still got our lovely boy. But as soon as it gets any worse, then we have to say enough is enough. Anyway, before I get upset, we will say goodbye. We have got our low impact class at 12 o'clock, okay? Let's have some hand weights for that one as well. You're welcome, Nikki. And then we're back at 4, hyping things up with our HIIT session. Well done. Thank you for joining me this morning, ladies. Always lovely to see you pop up. Take care and we'll see you soon.